Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful, loyal listeners of Dave and Ped's Excellent Adventure and all things Hut Hut Media for those of you who consume our other stuff. I have exciting news. The reason that this video looks a little different than the rest of the episode is because I'm at home recording this. The episode you're about to hear was recorded quite a while ago with our buddy Chad Buchholz, owner of Vista Paints. And since then, we have signed a fun, awesome new sponsor, the Cherokee Locker. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to tell you about the Cherokee Locker a little bit, how awesome they are. It is top-notch beef, top-notch pork. If you love bacon, if you love steak, if you love burgers, making your own burgers, get some ground beef from them. They've got beef sticks for just an on-the-go, amazing, incredible, delicious snack. And this is the locker where I take all of my cattle to get processed for my almost 20 cattle customers now. Like, this is where it's at. This is where you want to be getting your meat, is from local lockers, and the Cherokee Locker is the place. The quality is the best you're going to find. The flavor is night and day compared to any other retailer you get it. It is glorious. Check them out. Stop by. They're located on Highway 59, south of Cherokee. I promise you, you're going to take one bite of the first thing you cook from them, whether it's a ribeye, a pork chop, a pork burger, a hamburger, and you are going to do this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe what I just ate. That's going to be your reaction. So go there, shop, and thank you so much for supporting the Cherokee Locker. We are pumped about this partnership. It is one I'm very excited about, and one that I wanted to work with since starting Hut Hut Media, and so pumped that it's finally happening. So enjoy the episode in the Cherokee Locker studios. Have a great time. Awesome interview with Chad. And I just want to point out that the main camera for this video, the file got corrupted. So about the first 10 minutes of the episode, for those of you who watch on YouTube, the first 10 minutes will have no video. And after that, smooth sailing, good to go. You'll still have all the audio, but you won't see our beautiful faces till about after 10 minutes. So enjoy the episode. Thank you so much. Check out the Cherokee Locker. You are going to love everything you purchase there. Hut Hut. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to check that Snapchat, but I'll have to wait. It is another episode of Dave and Ped's.
He's addicted, isn't he?
Excellent Adventure. I'm a grown-up iPad kid. And we are here in Odebolt, Iowa, the Curry Shop, looking at these beautiful yellow walls.
Ugh.
Making me long for pancakes covered in butter.
Ugly Iowa State sign.
Yeah, it's
ugly Iowa
gorgeous
State
in here,
sign.
isn't it? What a great day to be a Cyclone fan. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
It is a beautiful morning. Thank goodness it's not negative 20 like it was just a few days ago.
Heat wave.
Yeah.
Positive 20.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So I'm Adam Pedersen. Obviously, you know. Dave. And we have a very fun guest for us today. It's been a while since we had a guest.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anyone better who just embodies rural America, who embodies, I don't know what else I was going to say. Chad, how are you? It's good to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Chad Buchholz,
Thanks for having me.
Owner of Vista Paints, Storm Lake, Iowa. This man is everything that our podcast is, and so it's going to be a fun convo.
That's great. You said everything that our podcast is, and I thought, well, I will just have to dig into it. We'll have to figure it out.
Chad's more like you, Dave.
I think he's much more of a man than I am from the sounds of things.
Yeah, but he's not like, every guest we have is just, everyone's like more humble than me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's the way I'm thinking.
That's true.
That's the word I'm trying to think of.
That doesn't take much, though, Ped.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I'm an egomaniac. I can't help myself. Well,
Yeah.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
All right. Chad, you own a small business in Storm Lake, so we'll talk about that. But tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't know, where you grew up, what life was like, high school, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Sure. I grew up in Newell, Iowa, just about, 45 minutes away from here. Mm-hmm. Had my parents and one brother, older brother, and grew up in Newell. Went to school at Newell Fonda. Just grew up with a love for sports, love for being outdoors, hunting, fishing. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
You come by it honestly. Your father seems like someone who never gets skunked when he goes fishing.
He is a very good fisherman.
Yeah.
You are correct.
He is always just every time you'll send us a picture. Yeah, Dad decided to go fishing today, and it's like 38 perch. I'm like, dang. When I go, I get like 5.
Oh man.
To be honest with you, I don't like going fishing with him because he catches everything. And you sit there for a half hour, an hour, and you don't even get a bite. And
what's he got on that hook? You know, what draws him in there?
Exactly. You take the same lure that he's got, and you go to the exact same spot, and you're like mimicking how he throws his cast and reel and stuff all out there, and he still catches them, and you don't. I don't get it.
Yeah, sometimes God, I don't know, God just blesses people to be. I was talking about this last night, actually, on Backroads podcast. Like, some people, you just have to marvel at some people's skill. Like, I was marveling at the way Jet Tila, my favorite, like, celebrity chef, cut a bell pepper. It was unbelievable. He, like, cut the top off, and he cut it down the side, and then, like, unrolled it like a piece of carpet while he, like, while all the membrane stuff was being cut as he unrolled it. And when it was done, it was a perfectly clean bell pepper. And I was just like, how did you do that? That was amazing. So, you know, some people are just blessed. And apparently that's Tony with the fishing rod. But I'm a bobber, throw a worm on, maybe a minnow. I don't do a lot of cast and reel. I just kind of sit and relax and hope they bite every now and then.
Yeah, I call myself a catcherman.
Yeah, there you go.
I hate going and fishing for hours and not getting a bite. So I'll let my dad, and I got another buddy, Aaron Nealon, that love to go fishing, and I'll wait until they start to catch them and say, here's where they're at. This is what you use. So then I can go catch some.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I call myself a catcherman, not a fisherman.
Do you have favorite lakes or places that you go with your dad? Or
there's a few spots on Storm Lake.
Yeah.
Growing up, I always loved going to this little pond. It's called Sturchler's Pit, just outside of Newell.
Okay.
There was always a lot of bluegills on their beds, so you could see them. And I mean, they were just little farts that you'd catch, but it was every cast. So that was a ton of fun as a kid, even though you didn't keep any. But we'd go down to Lakeview a lot when I was a kid too. I always enjoyed going down there.
I love fishing there.
Yeah.
You get to the right time there. My goodness, can you get a lot of crappie?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you go down to that dam area?
We fished that. Yeah. Our favorite spot growing up was actually Arrowhead, just south of the main lake.
Okay.
Or the outlet. We always liked going over there too. My favorite fishing spot, I've only been there 3 times, is the Boundary Waters though, up in northern Minnesota.
Oh my goodness, incredible.
Yeah.
That fish tastes so good up there.
Yeah, it's like the
fresh water.
It's nightmares for our family.
Boundary Waters?
Yeah.
You've been?
Uh-oh.
The one trip we went.
Like family vacation?
We have a guy that used to come down and hunt here, and his name was Big Al, 6'8", 350 pounds, like huge dude.
Wow.
You know, always brought his dogs down and spent a week down
Al.
here. Yeah. And so the one time he reciprocated, he says, why don't you guys come up and we'll go fishing together? So we went up for a week to the Boundary Waters, and there was a fire ban, and it was 40 degrees pretty much all week, and we didn't catch a single fish. I mean, it was like a week of
fire
camping.
ban, like you couldn't have your campfires?
Correct. So we pillaged in, you know, and carried everything, the kayaks, the minnows, and we were there for a weekend. I don't know if we caught 3 fish.
Wow. So what? Yeah. How do you cook? Are you allowed to do
we just didn't. I mean, I don't think we cooked anything because we didn't catch anything, so it didn't matter.
If you would have, though, what would you have done? Like, because if you're not allowed to have,
I don't know if you could have a propane fire, or I'm not sure what the regs are on that, but yeah, we couldn't like light it up.
You need to go back for redemption.
You know, if I had a group of guys to go with, I would consider it.
What time of year did you go?
I don't remember. My guess is late summer, but I don't know. You know, if it was August up there could be some cold nights maybe.
Yeah. Because I've gone, what was that, late July, and I've gone also, what was it, late May, maybe?
Yeah.
And when we went in late July, we caught hardly any fish. But there was wild raspberries and blueberries everywhere, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
Where we went in May, with fishing was amazing. We had fish every night. We didn't even eat the food that we brought.
No blueberries then.
But no blueberries and raspberries, though. So it was tough, but...
It ruined
very good.
camping for our family. Man. I mean, my dad never camped after that. Yeah, and I was 6, I think. So, 30 years, it
That's
really
a real bummer.
Put the kibosh on our camping experience.
I think it's time for a redemption story.
Yeah. I have since gone camping a few times. But, it really killed the extended trip time.
I love camping, but when you have little kids, It's
Yeah, that's
very
another
tough.
reason why that just doesn't happen.
My favorite part of camping is sitting around the campfire, but it's not fun when you
Yeah,
gotta
you're trying to keep
wrangle
hands.
a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
two are actually the complete opposite. Chad has 3 little boys.
Oh, really?
You have 3 little girls.
Either it doesn't matter. They still like fire.
Yeah.
They want to put their hands on it.
They still want to jump in and get burned.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, we have so much to talk about. I think we get
Yeah.
right into it. Vista Paints. So one of the things we feature on this pod is small town businesses. We love to talk about how there's opportunity in rural America if you're disciplined, if you're doing it right, if you have faith. We'll talk about all that. But tell us about Vista Paints. You guys have owned it for what, 30 years or something like that?
No, my dad started working there a few years before I was born. So I
Okay.
think in 1984 he started working there full time. And then he bought out the former owner in 2008.
Oh, 2008.
Yeah,
Okay.
he didn't
For some
buy
reason
it.
I thought it was late 90s.
He didn't
All
buy
right.
it until then. So I was in college at that point, in 08, and we'd kind of determined, if he does end up buying it, because it was kind of a question whether the owner wanted to sell it or not, that if he bought it, I'm coming back and I'm
Yeah.
going to work with my dad.
Yeah.
If it didn't happen, then I don't know what I would be doing right now. But
Oh, glad we
so
don't
yeah,
have
he
to
bought
do
it in 08. And then I bought my dad out 2 weeks after COVID hit in 2020.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So perfect timing there.
Yeah.
Which that was the busiest year we've ever had. So
Yeah.
that was good, but there was a lot
Yeah,
of
indoor projects.
a lot of
man.
frustrations
Yeah.
that went in with COVID, and
Yeah.
there was a huge shortage the next year with raw materials,
Yeah.
and we couldn't get
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah.
we didn't make paint for 6 months.
Oh, man.
6+ months. So
Yeah.
we had to start carrying somebody else's paint.
Oh, man.
And
that left a bad taste in your
the
mouth.
quality wasn't nearly as good. It didn't
Yeah.
tint the same. It was
Yeah.
a pain. So, so glad now. About this past fall, almost everything is back to normal,
Nice.
to where it was pre-COVID. So prices
Took a
are
little
still
while.
a little higher.
Man, it took a
but-
while.
Isn't it crazy how long it takes how quickly things can just go into shambles and how long it takes for the recovery?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, it wasn't just COVID. So that next year down in Texas, they had the coldest winter in forever down in
Breaking
Texas. And there was a huge plant down there that makes like 90% of the resin, which is basically the glue that goes into latex paint.
Okay.
About 90% of the United States resin anyways. It froze and burst all their pipes and everything. So it took over a year
Yeah.
to replace all this. And then
man.
at the same time, there was another plant for the oil resin that made a ton for the U.S. It had an explosion. So there was 2 main plants in the U.S. for both resins
Yeah.
that were out of commission for like close to a year.
Man.
So
Keepers.
So your paint, you are not a bear, or you are not a. You make and mix your own
correct.
paint.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dave's got a nice quart of stain there from us, but
Yeah.
yes, everything with our label on it, we make in our shop.
Yeah.
So we are a manufacturing and retail
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
And we're the only one in Iowa that is a single store
Serious.
manufacturing and retail. And to my knowledge, we're probably the only ones in the U.S., if not the
Wow.
world. Like, you don't see it anymore because most of them, there's a manufacturing plant
Yeah.
that makes all their paint right in that one location,
Yeah.
and they ship it to all their stores.
Yeah.
And usually it's 30 to 50 stores, unless it's like a Sherwin-Williams, and then
Yeah.
they're worldwide. But
Yeah.
like in our area, there's Diamond Vogel
Yep.
is a very popular one. We have a good relationship with a company up in Minneapolis. It's called Hirschfield's. They're starting to come down into Iowa now. They're getting a little bit bigger, but that's a company that we get quite a few of our raw materials and stuff from. So
Yeah. Man, that's cool because you go in there and the operation to mix stuff in there is really neat.
Yeah.
Just to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yep.
know, it's pretty cool. I love
I've
it.
been I wasn't in there that long ago. Sometimes I'll go grab some coffee in the winter, stop in and hang out, and just like you'll open this new can of white paint, which is I guess your base for everything, and then to watch you guys put just a teeny little, I don't know, what would probably be like a half to a quarter teaspoon of this and that, and then you put it in the shaker and it all comes out. It's just the teeniest little thing, and it just changes everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's wild
Yeah.
to me.
The tints.
So yeah.
So this is a oil wiping stain, and for our area of the country and our old farmhouses, it can be a challenge to find stain that matches old woodwork. And our house was built in 1911. And it actually has wood in it from a different house that's older than that. So the wood in it is probably the 1900-ish.
Sure.
And it has been, but it was all stained in the 80s. It all got ripped down and then it got re-stained in the 80s. So that stain has a tendency to yellow and turn a little bit golden. Or sorry, varnish does. Yeah. So tell me about why that yellows.
The sunlight coming through your windows is the main reason.
But the new stuff won't yellow like that, right?
It doesn't yellow as much as the older stuff. Yeah, okay. They've changed some of the stuff in the resins and whatnot, but latex varnishes don't yellow it at all.
Right.
What we're using and what you have there is an oil.
Yeah. Yep. So we stained this to try and match what the other stuff looks like. So like you're trying to stain to match the varnish that is yellowed. So at least that's what we did anyway. Yeah. So you got to kind of find somebody that knows how to mix that stuff. And that's not exactly an easily
can't walk into your Walmart and be like, hey, can I have this color?
That's exactly right. You just can't.
They don't have that ability.
Yeah. So it's super handy to try and match stuff because you're working with two completely different products. The varnish yellows, but I'm not going to buy a yellow varnish right now. So how do you get those two woods?
We've had to do that before, but that's very tough.
Yeah. I'd rather do it this way
because you put one drop of colorant in a varnish and it changes it way more than it would a stain or a paint.
Yeah.
But we match stains and paints almost daily.
Man,
we have
that's
people
cool.
bringing stuff in.
I just brought a chunk of wood in. I set it down. I said, I need this. It took a couple of times. Like I got a quart and it just wasn't quite right. So we went back and got a different one in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dialed in.
How far back is that thing Burke's working on go? 14 years?
He goes back to 2014.
Okay, 2014.
So we've always kept records for 10 years, and we would throw the 10-year one away and bring in the new one. But that was because it was all by the paper, things that we kept. Where Burke, he's tech savvy, so he's putting it all online. Yeah. So starting in 2014, we'll have records forever.
So you come in and be like, hey, we painted our... something in 2014, you can look it up and they'll be like, oh, do you know what the room was? And probably would have said kitchen. They could look and boom, this is what you got.
Yeah.
Give it to them out the door and you know it's a perfect color.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that service anywhere else.
Seriously, like that's it just doesn't exist at all.
You don't?
Yeah, I guess I've never gone to like a Sherwin-Williams or Diamond Vogel. I don't know if they keep records like that or not. But
they're not as good as you guys.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I just think of how we got this, and you think, man, this is going to be impossible. Trying to match wood, and it's perfect. It is exactly.
A lot of times people will bring in just a piece of like from the store or whatever, like, hey, can I get this stain?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what kind of wood are you going on?
Yeah.
So it's best to have a scrap piece of the wood that you're working with because every type of wood, whether it's oak or red oak or pine or poplar or mahogany, they all take it differently. And if it's older, like what you were working with, it's older wood, so it's drier. It's going to take it a lot darker than a newer piece. So,
Well, and one of the things is that to get pure white oak trim is almost impossible now. And so we were bringing in red oak, even though all the other stuff is white oak. And so to try and get that, I think that's why we were probably off the first time, because then we brought in, we just had to alter it a little bit to get that to be better. Yeah.
Right on. So did you work at Vista Paints in high school?
Yeah.
Wait, you were in
part-time.
Your dad still worked there, so you worked there too?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I started actually in junior high. I was sweeping floors and labeling cans and, doing those types of things. And my brother was making the paint at that time. Once he went to college, I took over making some of the paint when I was working. So, I'd work in the back and make paint when I was in high school and college. I'd come back on weekends and work too.
So you were familiar with kind of how it ran and everything. So when it goes through that dad's buying the business, this is going to be a real thing, were you nervous? Was there fear, trepidation of like, all right, can this support me? Can it support both of us? It's a small town business. Or was it like, we have a good game plan. I trust the business plan my dad has. I know he'll teach me. It'll be good. How was that?
Well, the former owner was leaving, so I was stepping in. So we knew financially it could support both of us.
Yeah.
I guess where I was nervous was the retail side because there's a lot to learn as far as all the different questions and problems that people have,
Right.
like what Dave was working with his kitchen. I have no idea. That's something I had to learn, that's where I was nervous. As far as working in the back of the manufacturing part, I had been doing that. I knew that well, but it was the retail helping the customer service type stuff.
Yeah, it takes I don't know. I bet after like 4 or 5 years, you're feeling like, all right, I can handle this. This is a well-oiled machine here.
Yeah. You're probably right. About 4 years or so. That's where like Burke, he's in that process still, and he's learning like crazy. He's learning stuff every day, and he's 2 years in. Basically, he's a year and a half full time now, and he worked for a year or so part time before that. So he's getting there. But it's a process. I'm still learning. Yeah, we have stuff come in all the time where it's like, all right, never seen this before. I mean, everybody's project's different. So it's like, okay, how do we tackle this one today?
Sure.
Yeah. What would you say, I guess, are some of being a small town? I mean, I guess you're in Storm Lake. Storm Lake's not like a super small town, but let's be honest, it's a small town still. It's just not Elta or Odebolt or Newell. But what are some of the struggles, I think, that you would say have been with running a small town, a rural America business, and then maybe after that, some of your favorite parts about it as well?
I'd say the struggles is kind of what we talked about earlier when when COVID hit, there was a shortage of raw materials, not being able to get things in. That's very stressful on me now since I'm the owner. Before I was the owner, it wasn't quite as stressful because my dad kind of handled that load. But so that would be the biggest one. And then I would say just in the last couple of years, like before Bert came on, I was like, okay, Dad's getting close to retirement. Who am I going to get to replace him? It's got to be somebody I can trust, somebody that's willing to learn a business that they're not going to know at all because we're kind of unique in how we run stuff. So, Bert coming on was a huge answer to prayer. That would be, I guess, the biggest struggles. What was the other question?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna follow up on something you said.
Good.
So you said it was a big answer to prayer. So everyone in here, we love the Lord. We're all men of faith. How has faith? I'm sure that helped carry you through with a lot of the times where it was maybe you were nervous or there was, oh my gosh, we can't get these materials, or I don't know what I'm doing. Like, how has faith played a role in running a small town business?
Yeah, sure. Trusting God that He's going to provide. It'd be the big one, I guess.
It's so simple, isn't it?
It's so easy when it comes out of your mouth. You're like, this is easy. Yeah. And then times get tough.
Yeah, it's tough. To trust. Sometimes, you got to have faith that He's going to provide, and He always does. Maybe it's not always how you see it or want it to happen, or the timing isn't your timing, but He always does.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's exciting, Dave. Did I say dive? I just talked like I was Australian.
Maybe let's start over.
No, leave it. It's funny. It is an exciting episode of Dave and Ped's Accent Adventure because we are in the Cherokee Locker Studios.
Get out of here, seriously.
We're in the Cherokee Locker Studios. Cherokee Locker, where I take all of my beef to get processed and taken care of. So all my clients that buy meat from me know that they're going to be eating succulent, delicious, homegrown meat processed locally, and it's going to taste amazing. You've experienced this.
Pedersen beef.
Josiah's experienced this.
The finest in the land.
You've also bought a whole pig from them before for the piggy party.
Yes, I have.
So we love Cherokee Locker. We love to deal with them. And now they're going to be a sponsor on the podcast.
Dang, dude. That's awesome.
Freaking go. I remember when when we started Dave and Ped's Accent Adventure, was that like June of 2025? It was June of last year, I think.
May, I think. Yeah.
May? Okay.
May. Yep.
I made a list in my phone and I said, these are like potential sponsors that I'd love to have for this show, that kind of like some farming related ones and stuff. Cherokee Locker was at the top.
Right at the top.
Because I want to work with people that I believe in, that I do business with, so I can support them. They support me. It's a whole big family ordeal.
Yeah.
So,
question for you.
For the Cherokee Locker
How long,
Studios.
So the Cherokee Locker, brand new facility, 2 years
sick.
ago?
It is sick.
3 years ago?
2022,
Okay, so we're
I
three-ish
think.
years.
I think we're about 3 years into this.
All right, so brand new facility. They
so
used to
nice.
have a locker in Cherokee, didn't they?
in the middle of town.
Did you also take your beef there?
Took beef there.
So you have been a Cherokee Locker, and are these the same? Are they related, or did one close down and one open up?
No, same people. They just
okay.
were able. So when COVID happened, the government did a deal where they would help pay for some of the locker if you wanted to build a new locker.
Sure.
And it was like a grant. I don't know what it was called.
Awesome.
A locker grant or something.
Yeah.
Because prices at the store went like
Nuts.
through the roof.
Nuts.
And we're like, wait, we gotta let's get some lockers going. Let's get people buying local. Not only is the meat quality better, but it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
And it's going to support local farmers and local businesses.
Yeah.
So we went to both. Must say, 104.7 times easier to back in at the new one compared to the old one. The old one, you had to like pull in the alleyway in the middle of town.
Yeah.
I bet the people that were like their neighbors were like, oh, here come some more cows in the middle of Cherokee. And you had to back up and nail it just right. And it's so much easier now.
So Pedersen Farms has
It's
been
nice.
a long time customer of Cherokee Locker.
Yes. And
Man, that's awesome.
The facility now is nuts. You used to have to like make your appointments like 7, 8, 9 months, sometimes a year in advance.
Yeah.
I still like to call in advance now, but if I call them like a month and a half, 2 months out, they always have a spot because the facility is so big now. They can hang so many more at once.
Yeah.
And they gave us a tour of it once. I remember we went in and it was there was a family with their little girls that were taking the tour with us. We walked into the hanging room and I remember one of the girls like screamed, started crying, and then left. It was so funny.
Word to the wise.
There's like
Don't bring your small children.
hogs hanging and whole beefs hanging everywhere. It was so funny.
Oh man,
It looked like that scene from Rocky.
Well, man, and it's like a grocery store when you go in there now. You know, you open up, you walk in, and they've got coolers. And the best thing about going to a locker is, like when you go to the store, you've got your chicken breast and you've got you can buy a sirloin, you buy your ribeye, whatever. But you go in there and you get the cuts that you don't see. You get the peppered bacons, the regular bacons. You get the real beef sticks,
And
the flavored beef sticks.
I think it's 22 different flavors, I think, of beef sticks you can get there.
Dude.
Legit,
Yes.
real
Yes.
deal beef sticks, like from local cows that were raised within 25 miles of this place.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
and
awesome.
maybe my favorite, outside of steaks, 1/4 pound all beef hot dogs.
Really?
And a lot cheaper than the grocery store.
Ah.
Yeah, they got them. Make
That's
them
what
there.
I'm talking about.
Amazing.
What are you, little Frank de Glizzy
So,
over
I
at the
know.
Cherokee Locker, huh?
What I should do, I should put Cherokee Locker right over Frank. I should get Cherokee Locker tattooed on me.
That's awesome.
We're super pumped.
Welcome, Cherokee Locker. Proud to
them.
have you.
I believe wholeheartedly in what they do. I love using their business, and it's one step that's going to make us even have a better relationship with them.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
super
great.
pumped.
That's
Right
great.
on.
So what's our future
Yeah.
plans here?
So I think we need to do a segment every week where we feature. I'm going to try to find. So I'm someone who loves, my algorithm on social media is so much cooking videos.
Okay.
So I think we need to find a recipe that looks amazing, featuring a good chunk of pork or beef,
Yes.
and then everyone will watch a video and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's incredible!" We're going to react to it in live time.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, "You can make this. Go to the Cherokee Locker, buy this delicious piece of meat, make this exactly at home how they made it."
Yes.
Because every burger, sandwich, featured meal that has an awesome piece of meat on it, every meal is centered around the protein. If the
Yes.
protein is good,
Yes.
then the meal has a chance to be
Yes,
legendary.
that's right.
So we're going to watch and react to these videos.
I like that.
And we'll
I like
say,
that.
hello.
That's great.
You can go get this amazing looking pork burger in Cherokee at the Locker. Go get it. It's going to be cheaper than grocery and better quality.
I know that if I was to try and make one of these meals, it wouldn't look nearly as good as the people that actually do this.
But
for
when
a
I
living.
try, it does.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're doing instant reactions of other people's videos.
Yes, sir. Josiah, you ready for this? I'm going to say while he does that, this is from, so I follow like a handful of food accounts on TikTok that make me so hungry when I watch them cook.
Okay.
This guy right here that started this account, he turned this account with a huge following, making amazing food at home, into a brick and mortar
Seriously?
restaurant.
Wow.
I can't remember where he's at. Maybe Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But like legit, like big time professional chefs, like celebrity chefs have come and ate. Salt Hank.
Okay.
His name. I started following him.
It's not this guy.
It's not Salt Bay, no. Salt Hank. And I started, ironically, he has a handful of salt there he's getting ready to season with. But I started following him in like 2021 on TikTok.
Yeah.
And he makes amazing sandwiches.
Yeah.
His main thing is sandwiches. And I'm so excited for you to see the sandwich.
Yeah.
I watched it this morning like 10 times just out of pure
legit.
enjoyment.
Yeah.
You boys ready for this?
Let's do this.
Hey, let's do
All right,
this.
we're gonna transition
And I
into
feel like
it.
we had to start with a classic burger,
Okay, so we're working on a burger here.
Where's
working on a burger.
Where's the mouse?
a beef burger.
Left, go left, go left, go left, go left, click.
Good. Click.
All right, we got a
right.
burger, salt, pepper, shake,
Yep. Puts it on the griddle.
sear, pepper jack cheese.
That's
Ooh,
key. You have
you
to cover
steaming
it. Steam it so the cheese melts good.
Yes.
Oh, look at that
All
cheese
right.
hang.
Oh, I can't do that.
Onions now. This gives me redemption right here because I didn't do too many onions when I made it. I just didn't sweat them long enough. Puts a beautiful
Some
sauce.
sort of aioli,
Pickles
the
down. the
caramelized onion.
Caramelized onion on top.
Oh,
This would be
buddy.
easy to make at home.
Yeah, you can do that.
Start with a beautiful
that.
burger base.
Yeah.
Go buy your burgers or your ground beef from Cherokee Locker. Make your own burger.
That's right.
And then I feel like I've redeemed myself a little bit in this video because I did not start my French onion soup with too many onions. I just didn't sweat them down.
That was a
enough.
lot of onions, and you
Yeah.
got to get them to be
Yeah.
almost mush.
Yeah.
They need to be.
I didn't sweat them down enough.
Yeah,
But
you
this
got to
is
get rid of
just
all the water.
A classic cheeseburger, and then you put some pickle and French onion or
Caramelized
caramelized onion on top
Yeah.
of that.
French
baby.
onion.
Ooh, toast a bun.
Yeah.
How good did that look? And it's so simple. It's like 5 ingredients.
Hey, do you know what changes this burger versus most burgers that you have?
No.
When you take that bun, you put a little butter on it, and you
Yes.
sear the inside of the bun.
Changes everything.
Not only does it make the crunch as you bring it in, but it keeps for the moisture when you have a great
Yes.
when you have a great piece of beef, like a
Yes.
Cherokee Locker piece of beef.
Yeah.
It doesn't soak into the
Yes.
bun because it's just a little crispy. That's
What
a good
other
burger.
beef than Cherokee Locker's
That's
beef?
a good beef.
Yeah. That looks so good. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to start us with a classic burger.
That's
I can't
good.
wait to do this. It's
We'll
going to
work
make
from
me
there.
so hungry every single week.
That looks delicious. Well done.
But,
So
yeah.
go visit Cherokee Locker. Get your
Yep.
ground beef. Get your pork, your beef. That's a good place to
Yes,
go.
sir. And like you said, they have groceries. They got bread. They have, if you want a good, healthy, more flavorful alternative to like cooking oils, they sell beef tallow.
Oh, they
there.
sell tallow
Yeah, that's
there.
big.
Tallow.
That's big.
I buy it from there and use it. It melts down and cooks so beautifully when you're sauteing
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So they have all sorts. This is why you go to a locker. You just cannot get a lot of this at grocery. So hit up Cherokee
Yeah.
Locker.
Yeah.
South of Cherokee, right on Highway 59.
That's right.
And make all your dreams
They have
come
a place
true.
in Storm Lake too, don't they?
They do have a location.
Oh,
in Storm
duh, I'm
Lake.
an idiot.
Yep. They have a
Storm Lake
location in Storm
Retail.
Lake.
It's out by Walmart. So for those of you in Storm Lake, literally just drive down the street.
It's in a little Hibbett Sports
Yep.
strip mall right there.
They got their beef sticks, their steaks, their burgers, everything there you could want to. So hit
Yeah.
up the Storm Lake location or the
Yep.
Cherokee location and make your life infinitely better.
Yeah. Good. That's great.
Hut. Were you going to say something? Otherwise, I have another thought.
Yeah. So in college, your dad is making the decision to purchase a business.
Yep.
And it's something we've talked a lot about in rural America is the opportunity to do that is it seems like it is an easier opportunity than maybe you would find in a big city, right? There are always businesses that need to change hands. But in rural America, it seems like there are fewer competitors in that space. And so if you can find one, then snag it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's an amazing opportunity to already own, and there's huge conversations about this right now about purchasing existing businesses. There's all sorts of grant money and funding for it right now. You can get low interest rate dollars to try and purchase existing businesses with great balance sheets, and like that's an amazing opportunity. Probably was not as much thought of that way when your dad was buying this business 16, 17 years ago. But now we see the boomer generation starting to step out. They've got these great businesses with no one to take them over. And I mean, talk about an awesome opportunity.
And if you have like perfected the craft, you're very good.
And you
Word of
already
mouth.
worked in it.
Yeah, already worked. Word of mouth, reputation, like people know you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
You can snag a 60-mile radius either way of people that'll do business with you.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe you've dealt with people even further away
Oh, yeah. We have.
that come in.
Not a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 50, 60 miles is our main radius.
Yeah. How has your faith, I would say how faith has played a role in my life in rural America is through the church. There's always ways to serve and there's fun things going on. And the Lord has always provided fun opportunities. But how has your faith played a vital role in your life in rural America? Could be. I know that you volunteer at your church. You're heavily involved in your church. It's probably led you to your family you have and all that stuff. But how would you say faith has played a role in your life in rural America?
Yeah, I grew up going to church in Newell at a church called Bethel Baptist Church. Went there until 2014, I think it was, and then I decided to come to Summit, and that's kind of how I developed my relationship with Ped here. Joined his Bible study for about a year and a half, and during that time, I met my now wife, not at Summit, but she was down in Ames at the time, but we got engaged and decided to go back to Bethel. We and I always wanted to go back to Bethel just because it was very tough just with the travel going to Summit. It was a half hour, there, half hour back. It was just a huge time commitment. And it was just like, man, once we have kids, if we want our kids to be involved, if we want to be involved in the church, that's just a lot of drive time. So we always wanted to be back at Bethel. The pastor situation when I left was not the greatest, and now we have an awesome pastor that we love, and we just have a great church community. But yeah, we like to serve in our church. We help with our youth group. That's been a struggle on its own this year, but it's been very good. God's testing me in that area and just having the right mindset and going there. We have a lot of community kids this year in our youth group. They did not grow up in the church.
Sure.
And
that's an amazing blessing.
It is, and it isn't. You know, it's a struggle because they're so rude and disrespectful, but they have such a need for Christ. And that's where God's really working in my heart is like, I need to go meet them where their needs are instead of the typical youth group kid where I'm trying to help them grow in their relationship with Christ. These kids need Christ. So it's different, and it has been tough, but we had a good meeting with our youth leaders the other day, and hopefully we have a good game plan going forward to meet those kids' needs. So
Chad's like me. He's every youth group needs that one leader who's not afraid to crack the whip if you need to. Well, he's a former coach. He knows how to do it.
I'm actually the guy that I sit back, I bite my tongue, and we have another leader, Seth Dix is his name. He's the one that's constantly on them, trying to correct them. And it's like after the 10th or 15th time and they're still not listening to him, that's when I crack down. But most nights I don't have to do that quite yet. But
I was playing Cajon Sunday night. Libby and I were leading worship, and like mid-song, these kids in the back are just being so loud. I screamed at them from the stage in the middle of the song, startled Libby and like threw her off for a second, but I couldn't handle it. It's like, you guys need to shut up and lock in. Anyway,
screaming at people from the stage. Oh my goodness!
So that's great.
So you went to college. Where'd you go to college?
Morningside, Sioux City.
All right, great. So
played football.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Nice. Was that national championship football?
That was pre-national championship. We lost.
It must have been like right before though.
Yeah. We lost in the quarterfinals all 4 years that I was there.
Oh, brutal.
Sioux Falls, who's now D2, but back then they were NAIA.
Okay.
So we had 10 losses in my 4 years at Morningside. We were pretty good, but Sioux Falls was better. They won 2 or 3 national titles.
Yeah.
But we were 0-6 against them.
6 of the 10.
So 6 of our 10 losses were to Sioux Falls. And do you know who the coach of Sioux Falls was during that time?
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer.
Kalen DeBoer.
Really?
The now head coach
Get
of
outta
Alabama.
Here. Well, at least you got that on your resume,
Isn't that crazy?
man. That is cool.
And,
man, I knew he was from.
Alabama's offensive coordinator's from Kingsley Pearson, just down the road.
Yeah,
So
Ryan Grubb.
What?
Yep.
I didn't
you didn't know
that.
From Kingsley Pearson, played football at BB.
So I've never liked Alabama, and I hated Sioux Falls, but it's like, okay, I played against this guy.
Yeah.
Like I kind of cheer for him now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. In the back of my mind, I'm always like, what if this Grubb, like, because he's kind of like a hot commodity coach. I'm like, what if Ferentz retires and they get this guy? I don't think it'll ever happen. Would it not be insane that 2 guys from the 7-1-2 were coaching men's basketball and football? Wouldn't that be insane?
It'd be
you
pretty
grew
wild.
up a Hawkeye fan.
Pretty
You're
wild.
from there and coaching them. I can't even imagine what that would feel like.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the? We got so much fun stuff to get into still, but what are one last thing maybe on the rural America business side? What are some of your favorite parts? What has been some of the joys? Is it the relationships or just the fact that you're your own boss, the freedom with that and stuff?
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, not having a boss. I have a few friends that struggle with their bosses or administrators, above them, and when they're telling me about those issues, it's like, oh, I'm so glad I own my own business. I mean, it's got its own struggles too, but I wouldn't want it any other way. That's for sure.
Well said. Well said.
But
Yeah, like relationships. Have you made any?
Friends,
people you didn't
relationships
know
with the customers or people I buy products from. That's something I can't beat any other industry or anything. So, I love the customers when they come in, whether that's just do-it-yourselfers or the contractors or. There's a lot of guys that have rental properties that get a lot of paint from us.
Yeah.
Sometimes them guys can stay in there for half hour plus just chit chatting. So love those conversations. Yep.
It's easy to be in there for 2-3 hours. I've done it before.
Yeah. Or you have
fun.
guys like Ped that stop in.
No paint.
Yeah.
He's just burning time.
It's like, don't you have a job or a life or something? Come on.
He's a
free time in the winter. Oh man. All right. We need to get into the homesteader lifestyle. You are, Chad, very outdoors. I'd say you and Jared in Wisconsin, probably the two most outdoorsy people I know. You're living off the land for a lot of your life. You're big into self-sufficiency and all that. So I don't even know where to start the combo. Like, when did this?
Yeah, how'd you get into it?
How did you get into it? Like, when did this become like, this is how I want to live?
I think I got to go way back. So back in like junior high, that's when I first started playing organized sports, or competitive sports anyways. And I loved basketball. It was my favorite sport, still is. And like, I knew pop was bad for you. I was a big pop drinker. So I guess for basketball, I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop drinking pop for basketball season. And I want to say that carried
awesome.
over through track because track was big too. But then I'd pick it up after 7th grade. I picked it back up in the summer and through the fall. Well, after 8th grade football, we had our end of the year pizza party. I drank a pop there. I've had one pop since then because I stopped for basketball and I'm like, you know what? I'm going into high school. Sports are a little bit more important. I'm going to be done. So that's where it kind of started. I knew pop was bad for you. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to drink it.
You've had one pop since your end of basketball little banquet.
End of football.
In 8th grade.
But yes. Yep.
You've had one pop.
So that would have been what? Fall of 2000.
No ginger ale, no Sprite.
So
no at-home remedies,
So I've had a few, punch at like graduation. So there's pop in that.
Sure.
In college, I'm sure I had a few mixed drinks, but I was more of a beer drinker. But back in my former
we don't
life
have
there.
to talk about those.
But
Been there.
But yeah, I've had one actual
intentional
pop.
can of pop.
Yep, and that was because we were boating up in Okoboji.
Yeah.
And we're out on the lake for hours, and it's 100 degrees and windy, and we had a cooler full of pop, and that was it.
Oh man!
And
Can't believe that no water. Come on, people. What are we doing? You got to hydrate.
What are you doing? Oh,
yeah, Chad
that's impressive. That's impressive.
Chad and
I can tell because you are fit. You're
Chad
fit
and
human.
Josiah, and also you, Dave. You're very disciplined too. You three are very disciplined. I wish I had that discipline when it came to intake of food and drink.
I don't know.
I like my food.
Yeah, I don't know if I call it disciplined.
Quantities is a different story.
You had a little pop that was like the size of the stool I'm sitting on the other day, and you said it was the first one you had in like 2 months or 3 months.
I did have a cherry
months.
Pepsi while on air with you the other day.
Yeah, and you said it was the first
I have
one
like
in
maybe
half a year.
they're the little 7.5 ounce cans. I'll have 2 or 3 of those a year.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Well, you see, it's this. Only it's about this big. Yeah.
I would say it started back then for me. I switched straight to Gatorade, so not much better than pop. Yeah. And that's what I drank.
You said it has electrolytes, right?
Exactly. It had some
Lots
health.
of salt and sugar. There you go.
Some healthy stuff in it.
Yeah.
But that's what I drank through high school. And then in college, I switched to Propel, which was like watered down Gatorade. And then once I graduated and was done with sports, I was like, you know what? We're going straight water. So, water and coffee and glass of wine every now and then. So.
Yeah, you got to have a
So
red
it's
wine.
spurred on, would you call it a health kick or just consciousness of what you're putting in your body?
Yeah. That's how it was when I was in sports and
Yeah.
stuff. But when I was in college, actually, I think it was my junior year, I broke out in this rash all over my back.
Okay.
And that was like, where did this come from? Like, I wasn't during the season. I think it was during the spring. So just doing some research on that really kind of like opened my eyes that, a lot of the stuff that we eat and put on our bodies is not good for you. So deodorants and lotions and laundry detergent and dishwasher detergent and soap that you put on your hands, all that stuff isn't healthy for you for the most part. So that was really where it kind of started, I guess, opened my eyes. But yeah.
Yeah, and so and now you're like, you got some acreage where you live. You've got some cows. You still have sheep?
Currently no, but
Currently no
I
sheep?
plan to get some this spring again.
Okay,
Yep.
and then pig.
Got some pigs.
Yeah, and he's got chickens for butcher and for eggs. Like you are in it, man. And you eat gizzards and you eat livers and all sorts of stuff. You'll send us pictures of your plates of like, I don't know, liver with potato and vegetables, and honestly, it looks kind of good. But I don't know, just when did you slowly start to build up to the level you're at now?
So I moved out on the farm in the spring of 2011.
Yeah.
And I knew right away I wanted to get some chickens. So I got those. And my parents always had a huge garden growing up. You know, my dad's an amazing fisherman, but he's a better gardener.
Yeah.
And they always had a huge garden. My mom would do a ton of canning.
Yeah.
Every year. So I always had that amazing homegrown vegetables, and
Oh my
canned
gosh.
goods
They're so
year
good.
round.
You can't beat 'em.
So I wanted to have a garden. So I had a garden and chickens for the first, I don't know how many years. And my grandparents, before they moved off the farm, they didn't do anything for 15 to 20 years, and they lived through the Depression. So there was a lot of cleaning up to do.
yeah.
So that took me quite a few years. And then I gutted the house and redid my whole house. So doing all
Paint
that.
was cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah. Paint was cheap. So I did all that in the first 7-8 years or so. And then I had gotten married and we were wanting to start having kids. And it was like, well, we want our kids to eat healthy food. So, and then COVID hit the exact same time. We just had our first son and COVID hit. And it was like, okay, we got some free time. Let's start this. So
kids are all the same
that's
age
when we
too. It's
started
funny.
getting,
Yeah.
we got pigs, we got cows, we got goats and sheep all that first year. We got ducks too that year.
Yeah.
So that was a fun year. We learned a lot. Had some animals die on us too, so it was kind of sad, but
Yeah.
it was a very good learning experience, and we've kind of just grown every year on what we're doing and getting more efficient with what we do. So,
Yes, sir. Dave, I know you got questions, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, so many questions. I would love to.
You kind of want to like start to do this, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what he's doing is like there's a lot going in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to get into the whole hornet's nest of the regenerative agricultural deal, because that's a whole nother deal. There's obviously like kind of like this conflict right now, especially out in the interwebs, about regenerative agriculture meets traditional row crop farming and all that sort of stuff. And so I think those two things should be intertwined more regularly. I think like my parents' generation busted their rumps raising livestock to get crushed by the 80s.
Yeah.
And then when they finally were able to make it out on the other side, they're like, I'm not going to keep just doing this sow hog operation, if I can just live off of grain. Why wouldn't I do that? I think a lot of people got burned by ag in the mid 80s. And I think that when they found the area that was able to produce the most amount of money with the least amount of resources or effort or whatever you want to call it, it's the path of least resistance in a lot of those ways, And I think that's probably what, and herbicides and pesticides, all those things have landed us kind of on one side where it's easy to criticize that when you didn't do the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and people lost farms. And I mean, there's a lot of people looking out for their own homes and their own ground when banks, lenders, they didn't let them off the hook back then, And so I think that's kind of the side of this that gets forgotten is the amount of people that really got crushed. But I do think that has lent to an area of the ag sector that has completely abandoned raising stuff on their own farms because of just the amount of effort and time that it does take.
It's work. Yeah,
it is. It is. But me having 3 girls and raising them on the farm, you want to have a farm. Like you want them to experience what a farm really is instead of simply just driving a tractor back and forth.
And I think some people, I follow this family on TikTok, and they are like live off the land as real deal as it gets, but they are like, first of all, everyone just looks so happy, but they're putting in the work, and they got all their animals, they got a little bit of land to grow crops, they sell stuff at like farmers markets and all that. Their way that they live is super cheap, and I'll see the comments of people making fun of them, calling them Little House on the Prairie and Sarah Plain and Tall and all this stuff. And I feel like sometimes like trying to live that life kind of like you live, or how I like to eat a ton from my garden and have my own meat and stuff. I think sometimes like people think you're like super weird for some reason. Like your weird little out of touch Amish lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? This is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Makes no sense to me that people get after that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably got less pushback just from COVID and how
there's been a big movement since COVID.
How tight everybody felt in COVID and how restricted and beat down everybody felt from it,
Well, everyone relied on the grocery store.
Right.
And the grocery stores were empty.
Right.
So it was like, we need to start making our own food.
Right. Yeah. That's a huge reason. It's wow, how can we wait for everybody else to provide us with the things? And I just turn around and I'm like, how can I make this ground more productive for my family?
Yeah.
Right. How can I make this fill my freezer? Same thing you're doing. And we've talked about getting chickens next year and getting some broilers and getting some hens, and and it gives my daughters something to have a little more responsibility over, and they see that, and also just the life cycle, right? We have chicks, they become chickens, then they become your food. That life cycle is important for them to experience. It's important for adults to experience because we oftentimes just think it comes from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to take the life of a raccoon yesterday that was trying to rapidly attack one of my calves. So I'm aware of the circle of life.
It just didn't end up.
You got to explain how you killed that thing.
It just didn't end up in your freezer. It didn't end up in your freezer.
I turned it into a raccoon skewer with a pitchfork.
Oh,
Yeah, I randomly got a video of him. It was still alive, and he was stabbing that.
Your channel is going to get so banned from YouTube.
I sent a video to Chad too. Chad goes, "Now that's how you hunt."
He's talking about hunting all the time, and he doesn't go hunting. So
spear fishing, only it's coon fishing.
Tell us what were you going to say?
I was going to say, all right. So you've got rotational grazing, or like tell me what it looks like. You got cows, you got chickens following cows. Like what's the whole thing look like?
Sure. With our cows, we have about 8 acres of pasture, so we rotate them every day during the growing months, anyways.
Yeah.
Onto a fresh, what we call a paddock. Okay, so we just we section off just a small area of the pasture, and we don't let them graze other than that little spot, that paddock. And then each day we'll move them to another paddock. And with the amount of cows I have and the amount of pasture that we have, we can get about 40 to 60 days in between coming back to that same paddock.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And the whole reasoning for that is it kind of starts with the soil. So we want living soil. We want those microorganisms in there that are living. That helps the soil to be much more nutrient dense. There's a lot of science that goes into that. I don't need to get into that, but just giving the ground time to rest is the big thing, and it lets the grass regrow instead of having the cows on it all the time. They're going to continually go eat the same plants until it dies, and then they only have non-desirable plants left. So if you're keeping them off of it, it gives those good plants time to regrow, and before you get the cows back on there. Plus, they poop a lot, so it gets them off their poop. They're not living in their toilets year-round, which isn't good because then you got to give them shots and stuff, and I don't want to give shots or vaccines, so... But yeah, so we have 8 acres of pasture. Basically, we're rotating our cows. Right now, we have 2 heifers and 3 steers, and then a baby calf. So last year we decided to go with some heifers instead of just steers every time.
Yeah.
And I rented a bull from Pet over here for a
Holy
few months
smokes.
last winter.
Holy smokes.
And should be getting him back here in a few weeks probably to do it all
So
over
did
again.
that calf show up in November? When did that calf show up?
Yeah, it was October. Yep, October.
That's the bull. That's the bull. It's the issue.
No, that one did his job because I took him to
So
You said the calf showed up in November.
October.
October.
Was born in October.
Born in
Yeah, and
October.
it was pretty much right on cycle. I gave him the bull in late December.
So I had
I thought you wanted. Okay, you weren't aiming for a traditional calving.
No,
period.
he was going
Gotcha.
for fall.
Okay, all right.
Yep,
Then that
I
makes
was-
It
sense.
happened when it was supposed to.
I was going to
because-
be like,
because
this
he
is the
calves in the
problem.
spring,
Get rid
so
of his
I-
bull.
Well, I can't have his bull during when he's breeding.
Sure,
so
makes sense.
I
Hey,
had to
that
do
makes
it fall.
sense. Okay, I'm on.
Isn't he breeding all the time though?
He has been
That's
this
what I'm
year.
saying. That's what I'm saying. They're there all
10
year.
months a year.
One of mine did not get bred though.
Okay.
That was officially here a couple weeks ago. I was still holding out hope, but
Okay.
it was smaller than the other one, so it
Yeah.
probably wasn't just quite ready or
Okay.
old enough. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll get bred this year though. But we have one baby calf. My boys love that thing. And
That's cool.
but at first I thought it was a baby bull.
Yeah.
Until it was a few weeks old, I went and tackled that thing and wrestled it. And
Yeah.
my youngest son, he's 2. He's always telling me about it because I got poop on me when
Yeah.
I was wrestling it.
Yeah.
And he's, Dad, you got poop on your pants. But yeah, we wrestled it down. My wife went to go
Yeah.
do the thing down there, and
No need.
it was not a bull.
No
it
need.
was a female. So which we were happy with that. So
Yeah.
glad I'm a noob and I couldn't tell from
go.
just standing there and looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll get Ped's bull here in a few weeks,
Probably in
and
a week or so. Yeah.
and
Sweet.
get those
The cycle continues.
Get
Yeah,
those
he'll
2
walk out
bred.
in that pasture,
Yeah.
nose in the air. Smell it.
Yeah. Last year he was riding one of them the very next day, the next morning when I went out to do chores. So he started.
They know
his
what they're
job
bred.
right
They know
away.
what they're
They
made
know
to
what
do.
they're made to do. It's funny how that works.
There's a oh my gosh, there's a hilarious video I saw. I follow this cattle farm on social media, and the guy pulls into the middle of the pasture with a big old bull. Bull gets out of the trailer, just kind of moseys off the trailer, is looking around. The bull turns and sees all the cows, and he like makes this loud noise and gets all excited. He like runs, and then he like looks back at the guy, almost like
Is it okay? Is that all right?
And the guy's like, "Go on," and the bull just takes off. And
Oh, that's awesome.
so funny. It's hilarious. Yeah. I want to know about the chicken. So you sent us a video the other day of you. What would we call it? Processing your chickens. It was.
So you butcher them all yourselves?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy to witness. Like, I don't know what the contraption. Obviously, I know what the one contraption was. You got to lose the head. But then, how do all the feathers and stuff come off?
Sure.
So essentially, you had a cone that you put them in upside down. Everyone knows, like chickens you don't grow them in a lab. They got to come from somewhere. You have to take their life, unfortunately. But there's probably a lot of people out there that don't know. So we're going to educate. So you had to do that. But then, how do you get all the feathers off once the head is removed?
So yeah, my middle child, Booker, he's 4. He likes to catch the chickens, so he catches them for me, and I get them
Nice.
from him, and I put them in the cone upside down.
He's gonna be a great
chop
DB
the head
football.
off and let it bleed out for a few minutes,
Yeah.
and then I'll go and I have I use a turkey fryer is what I use. I fill it with water, and it's boiling water. So I'll dunk it in that for a few seconds, and then I'll go throw it into the defeatherer, which is what I showed you probably.
That was wild to witness.
So yeah, you throw it in there, and it's just a contraption that spins really fast, and it's got all these rubber nipples. It's kind of the size of your finger in there that it basically just rubs all the feathers off.
And the fryer thing is
so
like tenderizes them or makes them hard enough where they like break off or what?
It loosens up the feathers, yeah.
Okay.
So hot water loosens up the feathers so they come off easier. And then that's my job. So I'll take them out of there, and then I'll go put them on the cutting table, and my dad will gut them. He'll remove all the guts, and then my mom will get the gizzard out of the guts and the heart out of the guts and liver and then
I love this. The whole family
and
affair.
then my wife will get any extra feathers that were still on there that the defeather didn't get, and she'll go put it in the dunk tank so they cool off
And you just probably saved yourself $1,000 in chicken right there.
Probably. I've never added it up. I don't know what it costs in the store because I don't buy store chicken anymore. But
it ain't cheap, I don't think.
So how many whole chickens are you doing?
So I buy 75 broilers every year. And I will move them around in what's called a chicken tractor around my yard. It's basically just a little mobile pen.
The little Joel Salatin chicken tractor.
Hey, there you go.
I know.
Nice. Yes, Joel Salatin.
Yeah.
Mine's a little different modification.
You
I was
don't
watching
45,000 chickens.
No. But the same design that he has for a chicken tractor, only I found a guy on YouTube and he made one out of PVC pipe.
Oh,
and
so it's way lighter.
So it's lighter, and so Joel Salatin has to take a little dolly and to prop it off the ground to be able to drag it to its next spot.
Yeah.
Well, with the PVC pipe, it just drags itself.
Skids. Yeah.
Which makes chores way easier.
Yeah.
But I don't have an aluminum roof. I had to use steel, which is way heavier. So mine's still heavy, but it does drag on its own. But it's definitely tougher. But I'll move them every day onto a fresh. It's kind of like my cows. I want them off their poop, and I want them onto fresh grass every single day.
Yeah.
And I'll do that until the butcher day. What was your question though? I
got to be honest with you.
Sidetracked there.
I think that was it. I think you answered it. There was a pasture right across from a field that we farm. And the guy usually has like 20 cows out there or something like that. And he took the cows off I don't know, it was like middle of summer. And so the grass grew back like crazy. And I was like, what's going on? Where's his cows at? So he pulls in one day with a trailer. And I was like, oh, nice. He's bringing the cows back for fall or something. Now we were getting ready for like harvest, setting up for a field. All of a sudden opens the trailer and like 200 chickens run off of this trailer. I was like, whoa! And the chickens were just all over this, eating grass.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. They must have been broilers. Would be my guess. I don't think you'd have something that far away from home laying eggs. But
Joel Salatin does.
They ate that thing down like crazy after it wasn't that long, and they were picking through it and everything. And then my question was and then I came back one day and they weren't there anymore. But how hard are they to wrangle up and get back into your trailer? Are they running all over the place?
Yeah.
You just got to try to catch them like you're.
I have mine in my little chicken tractor, so it's a mobile pen, so they can't go outside
they just
of
stay
that.
inside that.
And then I have my little 4-year-old that goes in there. He's small enough that he can crawl in there because I'm on my hands and knees if I'm in there, but he can kind of walk, just bend over a little bit, and he's got a little chicken catcher.
I should have told
that
this guy to
him,
let me know when he came back to wrangle them up, so I could have just recorded it.
It seems like an easy way to just kind of move them around. Yeah. You know, you just move that thing around, they stay in there, and
because it's just
very simple.
they're always on the grass. It's just like kind of pushing them along as it goes.
Yeah,
correct.
Interesting.
So, my first batch was the year of COVID, of course, and it was Mother's Day morning on a Sunday morning. I went out to do chores for the last time because we were butchering later that day. They were all dead.
Oh man,
it was my first batch that I'd ever done of broilers.
Talk about
and they're
defeat.
all dead.
From what?
It was like a war zone in there.
A fox?
No, a mink got in.
Oh, climbed up underneath.
A
That's
mink
part of the
dug
PVC.
a hole underneath and got in and slaughtered all.
Man.
I was like, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew
Minks
what a mink was, but I didn't know they could do that.
Proof of Satan.
So I set up a trap and I caught it the next night. It came back, so I killed that thing.
Tortured it.
So since then, it's like, okay, I got to protect them from minks.
Yeah.
Because I was just protecting them from coons and fox and
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
all right, minks are a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
And so I bought like those chicken electric fences that you. So I've always done that.
Yeah.
The last 4 years or so.
Yeah.
But this year I just put a hot wire and attached it to the outside of the chicken tractor.
Sure.
So I didn't have to move this fence around. So that saved me
Yeah.
a ton of time.
Interesting.
And it's so much more efficient. And it worked really good this year.
So how
that
do
was really
you?
nice.
Yeah. How do you do that? How does that work? How does it stay mobile?
I just hook up with an extension cord, a fence charger,
Yeah.
to that wire.
makes sense.
And I just unplug that wire
Yeah,
and then I move it and then I
replug
reattach it.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have to be super high joules. Is it a solar one?
Mine for that is not. No.
Okay, because ours aren't solar either that we use. If it's solar, you have some issues sometimes. But if it's
Well,
as
he'd
long as
probably
it's-
prefer the mink dead if it touches the wire. Yeah.
Yeah, I love listening to the coons get zapped when they try getting into the sweet corn. That's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Man, I know we're pushing up against time. A few more things I want to talk about here. Dave last year made syrup
Yeah.
for the first time ever. So I just want to hear you guys talk about syrup. But do you
Have you done it? Have you done it often?
We've done it 3 times now.
Okay.
Was it a success, you think?
Yes. It was a success. From what I understand, most trees will produce sap. It's about gallonage and then also about the sugar content.
Like just maples
in
or
that
like
sap.
most trees?
No, all trees will produce a sap.
Oh, okay.
It's just about the quantity that you can get, right? And a sugar maple is the highest sugar content and the most quantity of sap that you're going to get.
Okay.
So we've got 2 kind of younger silver maples in the backyard. Well, I think they're silvers. I don't really know what they are. And then we've got a big old silver maple, right? It's probably 65 years old, bunch of trunks, one of those, somebody planted it and it turned into a weed sort of thing, And so I tapped the 2 younger ones and I tapped a bunch into the big one. The big one gave me nothing. And I was really surprised by that. I thought that it would do something, right? Because when you cut a branch off, it'll leak,
Is there like a metal thing you're hammering in, or how's this work?
So you take this was my method, but I took a drill bit and you drill in,
Okay.
I don't know, 3/4 of an inch maybe, or an inch.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you tap a spigot into it, attach
And
a
then
line.
it's all, you don't want to go very far because it's all in the bark and the stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the
within
sap, you don't need to be very deep for where the sap layer
Okay.
is.
I didn't know if you were like trying to
run.
get way in there or not.
No, you don't want to be in the middle of the,
Okay.
no, that would be bad.
Okay.
Yeah. But the 2 that I did, the 2 younger ones, I had 50, 60 gallons out of them, which I was like, wow, that's incredible. To the point where I wasn't prepared to cook it as fast as it was coming.
Yeah.
And so I let some freeze out because I was like, well, if it freezes, that would be better than it just sitting around. So I just stuffed it.
Because it will
in
go
shit.
bad.
Yeah, and some of it did.
Yeah.
Some of it still did go bad. But I had probably 2 or 3 quart jars that we made. I wish I would have boiled it down a little further. It was runny.
Yeah.
It was runnier. But it was the best syrup I've ever
Yeah,
had.
what is it, like 40 gallons of sap will make 1 gallon?
Yeah, and that's
you
if you've
serious?
got,
Yep.
and that's if you've got
40-1?
if you've got a sugar maple. If you're running on silvers or other stuff, you might be in the
So it's
50,
just
60 to
pure from the tree,
100.
and all you do is boil it until it's thick. That's it.
Yep.
No additive, no nothing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, we do basically the
Sounds
same
fun.
thing. We'll drill it,
Yeah.
put the taps in,
Yeah.
and then I actually got a bunch of the 5-gallon like Culligan jugs
Yeah.
that we
Oh, that's a good idea.
run the hoses into and fill those up at a time.
Yeah.
And my wife and kids do most of it. I hardly do anything anymore, but they'll put it in a cooler. And she'll actually freeze some of it in like an ice cream bucket, and then
Yeah.
she'll dump those huge chunks of ice
Yeah.
into the coolers to keep
Yeah.
it cool until she gets enough
Nice.
to be like, okay, today we're gonna make
That's
sap.
a good idea.
So then it doesn't go bad.
Because when you get those temperature fluctuations, I think we're far enough south to where you get those temperature fluctuations. There's some days where you don't get anything.
Correct.
Because it's cold. And then there's some days where you've got 5 gallons or more that you go out there
it's
and this thing
overrunning,
is,
yeah.
it's over full.
Yeah.
And that really surprised me. I just wasn't ready for the quantity and the timing of actually doing it. So will you do 1 cook, or do you try to do?
No, we'll do multiple.
Yeah, that's kind of what I learned. I was going to try and do 1, and it just wasn't. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so she'll actually warm it up on our stove.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do it inside because your ceilings and walls will be all full of sap.
Yeah.
So she'll just warm it up on the stove, and then we have a fire outside in one of our open sheds. And she'll have 2 different pans. So it's kind of big roasting
Yeah,
pans, kind
that's
of like
what I've
this,
got.
only a lot bigger. And she'll dump that boiling stuff that she got warmed up on the stove into the one.
Yep.
And then that will boil down and evaporate down. And it turns brown, like more like a maple syrup look. And she'll dip all that into the second pan.
Yep.
And then she'll
Keep adding the new
keep
stuff.
adding to the first pan. And that second pan will boil way down and until you just keep doing that until you go through your 40 gallons or whatever.
Yep.
And then you got a couple gallons left, and then we'll take it in and finish off inside again too.
Yeah.
But
that's probably what I want to do this year is finish it inside because I just have a little better heat control.
Yeah.
So I built the 55-gallon drum with the stack on it and the grate on the top so I can run 2 pans on it. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I fed it with wood the whole time.
Yep.
In that kind of fireplace type thing. And I got it to a pretty good area, and then I moved it onto a propane burner and finished on propane. But I wish I would have taken it inside and run it inside, because I think I would have gotten a better finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a blast, man. And you just need a couple
When
maple
is syrup
trees.
season? Spring?
February, March.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of depends on the weather.
Last year was
wanna come
early. It
watch
was
last
late
year.
December
Yeah.
into January last
Yeah.
year.
I want to come watch this year. That'd be fun.
That's the thing, is I was expecting it into February.
Yeah, we did too.
And so I didn't have my cooker ready. And so all of a sudden I was collecting all this sap and a lot of it just sat in the shed. And so,
You guys are like the Walter White of Northwest Iowa, perfecting the cook.
yeah, there you go. Except it's not meth. Yeah.
All right. Chad's wife, I'm going to make this comment, and I know he's got to get going, but we got to talk some basketball.
Oh.
Chad's wife has perfected homemade sourdough. I cannot
yes, she
imagine.
has.
I cannot imagine what sourdough French toast with that pure maple syrup tastes like.
Yeah.
I bet it's incredible. Do you guys do that?
We have not had French toast yet, to my knowledge. I can't think of it, but she makes homemade sourdough, like pancakes and waffles.
And sourdough pizza.
And she made, we do sourdough pizza weekly. That's my boy's favorite. But she does,
pizza.
she makes loaves of bread all the time, but she made biscuits the other day for the first time. So we had biscuits
Sourdough
and gravy.
biscuits?
Oh,
incredible?
Those are the best biscuits I've ever had. We still got a little work of tweaking the gravy part, but the biscuits, amazing.
Boom.
Man.
All right. We're going to have to have you on again, because I want to dive deeper into more of this food stuff. But Chad is like me, we're big time like Northwest Iowa basketball historians. We love it.
Yeah.
Northwest Iowa is like the basketball hotbed for like 1A and 2A. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
He says he does remember your brother absolutely lighting up Newell Fonda his senior year.
03 district
half-
finals.
Well, we lost. He played well, I think. but they
03
lost.
district finals down
Yeah.
in
Well, it sounds like he
Lakeview,
played
Iowa.
more than well. Chad said he had one heck of a game.
Yeah, I don't remember the stats, but
Yeah.
we were down at halftime. Both teams were undefeated.
Yeah.
And to my memory, we were both number 1 and number 2 in the state.
I think so. Yeah.
And this is a district final. It's not even sub-state.
That's why I think there's a lot of qualms
Pairing?
about having both those teams
Yeah.
in
I
district
told
finals.
this to Chad yesterday. I said it's like when I remember going to watch Newell Fonda, Boyden Hull, 01.
01.
In the state-
in sub-state.
Oh,
Substate.
okay.
Like,
yeah.
why can we not look and be
I
like,
know.
all right,
Get
these are
them-
the obvious
Get
two or
them
three
moved
best
around
teams.
a little bit.
Separate them. Let
Yeah.
them play each other at state. Everyone wants to see them at state.
Yeah. I know.
it's
That's
annoying.
always been really disappointing. And
Yeah.
So in 2000, we beat Boyden Hall in the championship in double overtime.
Yeah.
Andy Koski hit one free throw and purposely missed the second to win in double overtime. So then the next year, we play them in sub-state to go
Yeah.
down to state. We had 3 losses that year. 2 to Palmer, who was the
Yeah,
state
who's-
champs
who
who
was
were in
awesome.
our conference.
Yeah.
And the third one was to Boyden Hall in sub-state,
Yeah.
and they were runner-up that year. It's
Yeah.
like, we're the third best team, and we didn't even make
Separate 'em
state.
all
I know.
So they can all play each other at state.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we want to
there's
see.
always been some qualms about how
But
that
then,
works.
So
the
anyway.
next year, Otabode Arthur beats us in the district final.
Yeah.
I was in 8th grade that year.
Was your brother still there?
He would have been a junior.
Yeah, he would have been a junior.
So I'm
And then
sure
they
he
went,
was.
And
But
I'm trying to think who they lost to that year. But anyway,
you guys lost
At
the next
state?
round, right?
Yeah,
We
well,
weren't
they-
as good that year. We were pretty
Yeah.
young. And
Yeah.
but the next year in 03, we
Yeah.
were very good.
Yeah.
We were undefeated. And we had
who's a tall guy?
Eric Johnson.
Eric
Johnson.
Johnson. That's right.
Yeah.
We had rolled everyone all year. Like our toughest games,
Yeah.
we had one overtime game against Palmer and Palmer
Yeah.
and Palmer, and then some of our Alta games were tough.
Yeah.
But other than that, we killed everyone. And then
Yeah.
we're going into this district. I'm like, I know they're good, but we'll win.
Yeah.
We're down at halftime. I'm
Yeah.
just a freshman on the bench,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
And we came through, and our guys played awesome the second half, and
Yeah.
I think we won kind of comfortably. But
Yeah.
that first half, man,
Yeah.
your brother was
Yeah.
killing us.
Yeah, and that gym, I don't know if I've ever been in a more a fuller high school
it was
basketball gym.
packed, and
And-
it's older
Standing room only.
and darker,
Well,
and it was hot.
super cold outside, and then
They opened the doors.
they
Do you
decided
remember
to
that?
open the doors to the outside, and it started to condensate
Yeah.
on the gym
The whole
floor.
one side of the
They opened
floor
the
was
doors because
slick.
it was so hot.
It was so
Yeah.
hot inside. They
So were
opened
you having
the
to
doors.
stop the game and wipe the floors?
Yeah, the beginning of the second half, they had to like wipe
Because they
some
opened
floors
it at
down
halftime
and- Yeah,
to
was
cool
it
it
at?
off. Lakeview.
Lakeview.
Okay.
Yeah,
The only time I've ever been in that gym.
yeah.
And
I've been there a bunch.
It's an old school gym.
Yeah.
The wood bleachers, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think that's where they play their high school ball anymore. I think
They play in ESAC. Yeah. But back then it was just Wall Lakeview Auburn.
Yeah.
But that was an older gym. It was dark and kind of musty, and it was so hot in there.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah. It was packed. It was a fun atmosphere.
And then, you were a coach for a bunch of years, Chad. But were you still in high school the year that Aurelia knocked off him and then Elta?
So that was the year.
09.
That was his senior year.
You were
graduated in 07, right?
You were a freshman in college, and
I was in college. Yep.
Yeah.
I
Because
graduated in 06.
we wanted to play Tyler Boyd and
Elta and
all the guys, and it.
So
that was.
did you play your junior year? Mm-hmm. You were on the team in the lineup. Did you play?
Well, that was our senior year.
No, I'm saying your junior year.
Yeah.
Do you
so.
remember playing us?
Was it at Newell?
No, at Otabote.
I don't remember. We probably got stomped because we were pretty bad until.
I was telling Ped this yesterday. I'm like, literally, it was probably the worst performance. Well, I'll take that back. Second worst performance of the 4 years that I was on the team.
Yeah.
Was that game.
And
you guys destroyed us. Mark Furtick dunked it on me. He was sandbagging. We had a transition.
That was his thing, man.
We had a transition, and I think we had a quick shot miss or turnover, and they throw it down the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm sprinting back, trying to get in his way. I thought he was just going to lay it in. Nope. He goes and tomahawks a thing.
6'6", 240-pound guy that just
big boy right there.
Yeah, but that was his. If he could stand at half court and catch a pass, that was pretty. But
Who were the twins that were a year older than you?
A year older than me?
Yeah, they were in Mark Furtick's class. There was a pair of twins that were pretty good athletes, but
we had a pair of twins younger than me, one class younger than me, the Larson twins, Mike and Tom Larson.
No.
Well, I know that we weren't very good until our senior year. I think we were average at best until that. But
good old Aurelia.
Northwest Iowa, man. Newell Fonda, it always holds a special place in my heart. Being an 8th grader, watching my brother's team.
Yeah.
Not quite do
Sorry.
it, you know.
That's one of the greatest things too. You go to those games. I remember that going to the Boyd and Holt Newell Fonda game 2001.
Yeah.
Me, 3 friends, our dads all went. We got there before the team busted for Newell Fonda because it was in Cherokee, right?
Yes, I
think
believe
it was
so.
Cherokee or wherever it was. And I remember we got the last 20 feet of bleacher left.
Yeah.
Games aren't like that anymore.
Yeah.
Regular season games are packed, but then these tournament games, my gosh.
Yeah.
You had to get there early to find a spot. The crowds were so fun. People, it was a big community event, and I just don't feel like it's quite like that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
If your team's really good and they keep winning, then it gets that way. You bring people from the community out, but it's not consistently supported like it used to be.
One thing that's been fun is going to Storm Lake public games with
Yes.
Jaden Kuhn there and them guys.
That place is packed.
That is fun.
That's a prime example. If you're awesome, people will come watch.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was growing up in the 90s, the Palmer Newell Fonda rivalry, both teams were, the best teams in the states every year. And I don't remember this as a kid, but the story is there would be a lineup from our gym doors outside around the block. So about 3 blocks, 300 yards worth of people standing in line after school. When school gets out at 3:30 and the doors don't open until, 7:00. It was you're going to stand in line for that long. Or I guess the game would start at 7. So doors probably opened at 6, but yeah.
The girls were loving it. They're like, man, packed house for the
packed
girls.
House for the girls.
Yeah. Well, it would be packed, standing room only in the gym, over capacity in the gym. But then there would be a couple hundred people in our old gym with a TV in there, standing and watching the game in the old gym.
And Newell's always had a really salty women's program too.
Very good.
Women's basketball team has always been really, really good.
Now.
Yeah.
Or longer, actually.
Yeah, we went to state 3 times in the 90s too.
And we've OA and now OABCIG, we've had runs, we've had spurts, the Kelsey Bolte eras, we've had spots where it's been really, really phenomenal basketball.
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, I mean it. Everybody's got those, those one-offs, it seems like, where you have a good year here and there, but Northwest Iowa has a lot of good basketball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I don't know if anyone else listening cared about that, but that was fun.
Man,
we loved it.
We loved it.
And we could honestly go longer, but we won't.
Speaking of Cooper DeJean, I coached against him, and I was a head coach his last 2 years, and we took it to him his junior year.
Yeah.
We were up 34 going in with about 7 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
And you could just see, okay, I'm going to go get my points now is kind of his mindset. He was very kind of, I don't know if lazy is the right word, but he was not aggressive at all.
Passive.
Very passive. Now, we had a game plan that I thought was really good for him because he didn't have anyone around him that year. His brother was not on the team yet. His next best player was hurt. So he didn't have much around him. And we made it really tough on him. But he was very passive.
Yeah.
Well, them last 7 minutes, he's like, all right.
Game time.
Yeah. And you see them highlights on ESPN when he's playing. Like some of them are from that game because we ended up winning by 20 still, but he outscored us by 14 in 7 minutes by himself basically. And then his senior year, he had his brother playing. He had Easton Harms was back from injury, and he had a couple other guys that were much improved, and they were good. And they destroyed us. And yes, every time I see them highlights, I'm texting some of my guys like, "Hey, I just saw you on ESPN."
So you get dunked on, buddy.
Oh man,
they weren't the only ones.
He was a heck of an athlete. Still is, I should say.
Yeah.
712, man. We produced some good ones.
Yep. Some goodies. Yeah.
So all right, let's eat these right before we.
Ooh,
Carrie Bargloff, loyal listener from church. She made homemade Norwegian. They're called. It's spelled like crumb cake. I don't know. It's krumkake. Krumkakey. I don't know. You want one, Hosh? Crumb cakes are apparently an authentic Norwegian cookie, and we're going to eat it to celebrate Christmas. Tell me what your review is of it, Dave.
ASMR? Those are delightful.
How good would this be with some soft serve ice cream in it?
Delightful.
Oh, man. That's why I said it looks like an ice cream cone.
Judge everybody's chewing noises. Adam, you have the worst chewing sound. I'm not going to lie. It was just wet.
What?
Very wet.
Wet?
I think the episode should just end with us chewing.
Oh my god!
All right,
very good.
That's excellent.
Seriously, it tastes like the ice cream cone. The I don't know what they're called, the sugar ones or
they're
whatever.
amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carrie.
Very good. Thank you, Carrie.
Carrie, we appreciate you so much. She's a loyal
Carrie
listener.
who? What was her last name?
Carrie Bargloff.
Bargaloff.
She's a loyal listener and supporter of all things Hut Up Media. She rocks. She's given me pizza before to eat live on the air and review and try. And now these. So we appreciate her. And we appreciate all of our listeners. You know the deal. Like, subscribe to everything. Follow Hut Up Media. Go to hudhupmedia.store and get some merch. Oh, and by the way, go and buy things from Sheldon Power.
Oh, yeah.
Should have said that.
Mitchell
at Sheldon Power. That man's got snowmobiles.
Well,
Snow blowers. Not snowmobiles. Snow blowers, although if it's a powerful enough self-propelled snowblower, you could probably stand on a sled behind it. So go check him out. Buy all the stuff you need to get through the winter for your livestock. He's got trailers if you got to haul a mower or trailer something around. So we love Mitch for sponsoring the show. And Chad, we're appreciative that you came.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was fun. We need to dive more into some of the homestead lifestyle. Gardening,
yeah, we kind of just hit the surface stuff.
Yeah, the surface stuff.
I want to get deeper sometime.
Yeah, it'll be good. I always told Ped that the worst thing that could possibly happen out of this podcast is I end up with a cow.
He's thinking of it. The wheels are turning.
Don't say they didn't get asked. Do you have a dairy cow?
I do not. I would love to have a dairy cow, but it's very time consuming, and I don't have the time. We have some other friends that kind of dabble in the self-sufficient lifestyle too, and we've talked about sharing it.
Raw milk.
I love raw milk personally.
It's amazing.
Oh,
we do have a source for some raw milk, and we will get some every now and then. But I don't know. It's
a lot of work.
To have your own would be amazing.
Dave could get rid of this plot, make it go further north, and turn that plot into some grazing for a cow or two.
There we go.
Weird. I'm busy. I can't hear what you're saying right now.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas whenever you hear this. Love everybody. Hud. My butt hurts.
Great stuff.